write an equation of the line that contains the point 4, 2 and is perpendicular to the line y equals 2/3 x minus 5. Again, we want the equation for the line, so we're going to use point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, we have a point, we don't have the slope. The last two problems dealt with parallel lines, so we used a fact about the slopes of parallel lines, but this problem is about perpendicular lines, so we need to use a fact about the slopes of perpendicular lines. So if we look at perpendicular lines, they don't have the same slope. The fact is that perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. Now, opposite means if one of them is positive, the other will be negative, or if one of them is negative, the other is positive. And then reciprocal means we have to take the reciprocal of the fraction. We need to flip the numerator and the denominator. So let's take a look at this line here. We know that our line is perpendicular to this one. Now, this other line has slope 2/3 because it is already written in slope-intercept form. So this other line has slope 2/3, but our line is perpendicular to this. So we have to take the opposite reciprocal of 2/3. Now, taking the opposite turns it from positive to negative, so we're going to have a negative number, and taking the reciprocal changes it from 2/3 to 3/2. So the slope of our line is going to be negative 3/2. Let me say that again. The slope of this other line was positive 2/3, and since our line was perpendicular to it, we have to take the opposite reciprocal of that. If we start with 2/3, the opposite changes to negative, and the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. So that means the slope of our line is going to be negative 3/2. Once we have that, we can go to point slope form to figure out the equation of our line. We've got y minus y1, y1 is 2 in this case, equals m, negative 3/2, times x minus x1, and x1 is 4. We can distribute that negative 3/2 on the right. That gives us y minus 2 equals negative 3/2 x. It's going to be plus, because we have a negative times a negative. 3/2 times 4 is going to be 12/2, which is the same as 6. And to get y alone, the last thing we need to do is add 2 to both sides. This gives us y equals negative 3/2 x plus 8. And that's the slope of our line.